You know, we have a very, very effective army of consultants. And they're all over the world. Corey, how many countries are the consultants in? Off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head, I'd say 97.
97 countries.
Yeah.
Very good. Should have it over 100 before the end of the day. At any rate, we had a contest. I forgot what the particulars of the contest was, but we had a young lady from Northern Ireland that won the contest. And the prize in the contest, they were going to fly with me in the jet to the seminar. But I wasn't going to fly from home, I was going to fly from New York, so they had to fly them into New York. And we were on the plane, and it actually turned out very good. Kelly, where's Kelly? She had to go back home. Oh, she had to leave. Oh, that's too bad. Well, Kelly Pascuzzi was with us, and she has become a consultant in Kansas City. And so I had Kelly sit right opposite Kim Calvert. And where's Kim? Oh, here she is, right here. And Kelly got an education flying from New York to here. It was a 5-hour flight. And Kelly told me, she said, this has absolutely been an incredible trip for me. Now, this young lady, we want to recognize her. We have people in 97 countries that represent our company. They're in business for themselves, but not by themselves. And she is in Northern Ireland. And when she came to us, she was a nurse. I think she was some kind of a management as a nurse. But she was earning, I think, $35,000 a year. And her first year, I think she earned over $300,000. That's quite a switch. It was something like I did. I went from $4,000 a year to $175,000 a year. It was just, my head was spinning. You have a difficult time maintaining your balance when something like that happens, because there's part of you still back at the 4,000, and although you've got all this money coming at you. And she has done a phenomenal job, but she won this contest, and we give out little recognition. Some of you wonder what this diamond pin is. You'll see we have a couple of people that have them. I'll just digress for a second and tell you about it. I was in Amsterdam back in the late 60s, and I went into this place where they cut diamonds. I heard they cut diamonds, and I thought, this is rather interesting. I'm going to go and see what they're doing. And I saw all this jewelry, and I saw this. It was an exclamation mark. I says, is that for sale? And they said, everything in here is for sale. And I said, well, I'd like to buy that. So I bought it, and I wore it for the longest time in my lapel. It was an exclamation mark, and I thought, that's sort of definite. I like that. And somebody asked me what it was. I said, I don't know what it is. I just like it. And so I wear it. And I wore it for a few years, and then I lost it. Well, one day, Sandy said to me, do you ever wear any jewelry? I said, I wear cufflinks. Well, I haven't got any on. And I said, I got quite a nice collection of cufflinks. And, but I said, that's all. So you don't wear a watch? No. I always figure it's now. I don't need the time. No. And so we had a party when I was in this business 50 years. This was a few years ago. And Sandy bought me a diamond exclamation mark and gave it to me as a present. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Because I told her that I had this, I used to wear it, but I lost it. And she said, well, what was it like? And so I described it. And I only had it for about a week and I lost it. And I thought, God, you know, we go to meetings, we're at the meetings together, I better tell her I lost it because where is it? So I told her I lost it. Well, she got me another one. And she gave it to me at this party. And then I started to think we should have a reason for this. And so we come up with the idea that it was the mark of $1 million. When a person earns $1 million with us, they get one of these pins. You'll see Rosh has one of these. Corey has one. Brian has one. And then we come up with another idea, or Corey did. She runs this, the consulting division. And she came up with the idea that we would have a silver one, a gold one, and then the diamond one. Well, this young lady from Northern Ireland won the contest, but she may be the top consultant. I'm not sure. She's certainly up there, one of them. And she has just qualified for a gold pin. Now, to get a gold pin, you have to have 150 clients within a 12-month period. So that would mean she would earn probably around $600,000-$700,000 in a less than a 12-month period, which isn't too bad of money, especially if you're only earning 35. She was working as a nurse or nursing management or something. And so I'm going to ask her to come up on the stage, and Sandy is going to present her with her gold pin. Kim Calvert, come on up here.
Next to your heart. Don't let it poke you. You are? There you go. You'll have to get him adjusted. All right. Congratulations. You know, let's give her another hand. Good job, Kim. Way to go. Woo! You know, I was thinking about it, and when I started out in this, I went to that first seminar, I got in the coaching program, and then I became a consultant, just like you. And that was the step that I wanted to take, because I remember Bob talking about how he became a consultant for Earl Nightingale back in 1968. And he said he became a consultant because he knew that was the way to learn this, and that was the way to get close to Earl. And he wanted to work with Earl really closely. And I thought, well, I'm going to do the same thing. I want to be Bob Proctor's, closest advisor. I want to work closely with him. And so I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about you, and you're on the right track. You're on a good track. So congratulations. Yes.
That's very good.
Give her another hand.
Don't go anywhere. Here. Now, this lady has done a really tremendous job. She's gone out on a world tour on her own. She was going to sell going around the world. She liked the idea that she could do that. Now, she started in the business, I think it was in July of 2016. Didn't do a whole lot the first year. Well, she did. She earned about $300,000. But she has earned £1 million since she started in the business. That's very good. Her parents probably think she's robbing banks or something. But when you think of this, you have to think, how is money earned? And everything operates by law. Well, the earning of money is governed by law. The law of compensation is very clear. I learned it when working with Earl, and it's very clear. The amount of money you earn is always going to be an exact ratio to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. The need for what you do. I think there's a tremendous need for what we do. The information that we put out there is not taught in school. It's not taught in too many homes, unfortunately. It's starting to be now. But it's vitally important information. How do you tap into this infinite source of supply that you've got and bring it to the surface to provide greater service? The greatest is the servant. The servant's the one that's providing the service. I don't know where there's a greater need than there is for what we do. And then it's our ability to do it. So it's a matter of getting very good at presenting this to people. See, if you go about it the wrong way, you're telling them there's something wrong and you know how to fix it. That doesn't go over very big. So you have to learn how to present this properly. Kim has done an excellent job on that, her ability to do it. She's one of our top consultants. And then the difficulty there is in replacing you. She would be a very difficult person to replace. Now, as Sandy said, she started as a consultant. I started as a consultant way back in 1968. Now, in 1968, hardly anybody knew anything about personal development, so it was a little more difficult than it is today. But I just fell in love with the idea, and I used it. And so we find that the people that are most effective, they're the product of the product. The ones that use the information, they have a much easier time communicating the information. And this young lady has done a phenomenal job. Turned £1 million since she started, just a couple of years. And then the gold pin is for having a minimum of 150 clients within the past 12 months. So she would have earned a good $600,000 on that. I think you should give her a big hand. Okay? Kim, there's someone in this audience that is very unhappy with their job. I don't know who it is, but I know in this many people there has to be someone. There may be a few people. If you're unhappy and you want to step out and do something on your own, we want to work with you. We want you to work with us. We have an ongoing training program to train consultants. It is the greatest business opportunity you will ever tap into. I'd like you to take a few minutes and just tell people how you relate to this.
Well, firstly, thank you very much, and I'm absolutely grateful and honored to be on this stage. And I think I want to start by one quote that was the first time I ever met Bob, and he said, if you want to be free, or if I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me that you think I should be, not the me my parents think I should be, but if I want to be free, I've got to be me, so I better know who me is. Well, I burst out crying because it was my first consultant training. I had no idea who me was, but that one quote hit me in the pit of my stomach. Now, I had only signed up 3 weeks before my first consultant training, and I find it very interesting. I'm sitting at table number 4. My birthday is the 4th of May, and 4 years ago I had £4.20 in my pocket. And even though I had a good nursing career, I was at the peak of my ladder, but that doesn't really always matter. I was earning money, but I was broke every single month. And every single day that I went into work, even though I was a psychiatric nurse looking after people about the mind, I had no idea what the mind was. And you know what? I had never even questioned, because you don't know what you don't know. And every day I walked in, year after year, I felt this pit and this feeling in my stomach that there was something more for me. Now, if any of you people had have met me when Bob first met me, I was a different person. I had my head down. I literally hid at the very back far corner, and I did not feel worthy to even be looked at. And that feeling as I went into work every day was this feeling of, there has to be more. I mean, it can't be this. And of course, I had the feelings of guilt because I had a great job and I'm looking after young people, but this feeling wouldn't go away. And I tried to make it go away by shoving it under the carpet. That doesn't work, don't try it. And also I had all the usual fears. I also had parents that taught me you have to be really smart, you have to work hard to be doing well in life. And I didn't really like school, to be honest. And I'd got a good job, but I was broke. So when I started to kind of really think about this and go, there has to be more, It was at a point in a pet shop where I was getting my 2 little dogs pet food, and I realized with my hands in my pocket, I can't even afford the dog food. And I'm in a very highly paid job that most people would give their right arm for, because they don't know any better. And it had a pension. Mum and Dad thought this was great. Good government job, don't ever leave that. That's what you heard every Sunday at the dinner table. And I was not happy. I was financially broke. I was mentally broke. My relationships were broken. My physical health was broken. And I had realized I have £4.20. And at that point in that pet shop, I made an absolute decision that I will never be broke again. I had no idea how to fix it. I literally just did not know. And you don't know what you don't know. And then, of course, I came across Bob Proctor's wonderful material on YouTube. And when I say I wasn't the brightest tool in the box, I really mean that, because I watched every YouTube clip. And I thought there has to be the secret. They're going to tell me it in the next clip. And then the next one. And then you're going to sleep and, no, it must be the next one. So don't do that. Hit the little button to contact them. I did that, got on the phone to wonderful Bill Banta, who's a phenomenal coach here at PGI. And of course he was saying I can earn what I earn in a year, in a month. I could be sitting having dinner with Bob Proctor. And I'm on the phone going, yeah, right. But that feeling that was really causing me so much pain was now suddenly coming alive. And I could not keep it in the box. So on the phone, I told Bill, look, Bill, I'm broke. I don't know what I'm going to do. I had also decided that week I was going to leave my job, despite what everybody else thought. Didn't tell my parents I'd left my job, actually, until 8 months later. And because they needed proof. That's the, you talk to your friends and your family and they want to see, well, how are you going to do this? I had no idea. But for some reason, I believed in every single word that this man who I'd never met, across the world, I really took that belief and I borrowed it. And that's what he says. And if I can borrow it, anyone can borrow it. It's a belief, it's energy, it's ever present. And I went for it. And Bill, I was saying to Bill on the phone, well, Bill, I don't have the money to pay for this. And he says, well, that's not the point. You haven't made a decision that you're going to join us. And I went, oh, yeah, but I don't have the money. Because that was confusing me. But then I just went with it. I didn't let myself get stressed out about it. I went out the next day and I sold my car, which was really the last valuable possession that I had apart from my home, which at this point I had no idea how I was even going to pay the mortgage. I'd quit my job. Mum and Dad didn't know. I'm now selling the car. I got a measly £4,000 for my car, so never go to those WeBuyAnyCar.com websites. I got fleeced. But I wanted this. It was a burning desire, and I didn't even know that at the time. And I burnt the ships. I transferred the money for all 4,000 over again to a company across the world that I didn't know, and I jumped in this program. And I was terrified and excited at the same time. And when I went to training 3 weeks later, I didn't even know how I was getting the money to go to training, but I was able to sell my first client because there's always a way, the money's always there. And I was kind of just going off all these things that these people were saying that I'd never met, but it just sounded really good. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to go with this. And I mean, cut a long story short, in the first 4 months of this year, I've earned over $400,000. And it's not about the money. Money's a byproduct of happiness. I now know who me is, and I'm totally free. And I'm able to stand on this stage with two of the most incredible, powerful beings who are just normal people like me, like you, but we've got extraordinary information. And if I've been able to do that when I was so scared and so broke in so many ways, what could any of you do? And it just takes a burning desire, unwavering faith, and a will to do more. So I am so proud and so thankful.
Congratulations.
You're a great
so
guy.
awesome.
Thanks, Kim. You were getting me all choked up. When I started in this, I was much the same as you. I was lost. I didn't know which end was up. I often say I didn't know the war was over. But I found someone that believed in me more than I believed in me, and everything in my life started to change. I've earned millions of dollars in this business. I've built wonderful friends all over the world. I don't know if there's a country that I go into that I haven't got a friend there. It's just an absolutely incredible business. Would you push these sheets out, please, in the back? They are out. Well, there's a sheet on the table. If you would just take one of these. I want you to take it, and I want you to look over it at the break, at lunch, or at the break this morning. There's a number of you that may be something like I was, or like Kim, who are not really excited when you get up in the morning about how you're going to spend your day. I know Ricky here is, because she goes to Puppy Academy. I mean, if you're spending all day with puppies, you've got to have it made. I have 3 puppies at home, so I just love those little creatures so much. But unfortunately, not everybody wakes up excited about how they're going to spend their day. And that's really too bad, because we should be. We're God's highest form of creation. We've got potential that goes beyond the scope of our imagination. I mean, truly beyond the scope of our imagination. And we know the greatest is the servant, the person that provides service to someone else. I don't know where you can provide a greater service than you can with what we do. Now, I didn't know that when I got into it. I got into it because I was fascinated with what it had done for me. Probably as Kim is fascinated with what it's done for her. But I saw my life changing, and it was changing right in front of my eyes. And then when I found that this is a business that I could go into, it just about blew my mind. Now, I had been using this material to build a business. I was building an office cleaning business. And I went from cleaning one office here in Toronto to cleaning offices in Toronto, Boston, Montreal, Cleveland, Atlanta, London, England. It was going like a rocket. And I wasn't talking to the cleaners about cleaning. I was talking to them about themselves. I was helping them set goals. I was helping them start to visualize how they could live the kind of life they want. And that company just kept growing. And I really didn't know what I was doing. But I was doing it, and I was doing the right thing. I was an unconscious competent. And then when I saw that this is something I could do as a business, all of a sudden I wasn't remotely interested in staying in the cleaning business any longer. Now, it took me a couple of years to get out of it because it was pretty, mature business. I mean, we were scattered all over the place. But I got out of it. And I went from, unlike you, where you went from 35,000 to hundreds of thousands, I went from over $1 million. I took a job for 18,000 a year. And 5 years later, I was only earning 33,000. But I was working in this industry, and I loved it. I was prepared to pay them to let me work there. I just loved it so much. When you can sit down with someone, you're just an ordinary person, and you can sit down and you can show someone like that how to change their life. I mean, you got to fall in love with that. I wake up every morning, and that's what I do. And I do it until I go to sleep at night. This is an incredible business. Now, we have a number of consultants here in the room, but I would like you at the break to look at this. And if you're not really excited about what you're doing, change it. Don't spend your life doing what you don't like doing. You've got an obligation to pull the best out of yourself. And if you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to pull the best out of yourself. You're just going to get by. But when you really love what you're doing, you want to do it better. You want to do it in a bigger way. You want to make things happen. That's what we do in this industry. It is absolutely incredible.
Check us out at proctorgallagherinstitute.com for tips, tools, and resources.